So, I'm lugged off to the hospital. First time me like I've ever entered the lake. Huh? And for why? I've bumps on me nuts. If you don't mind. And them could finish it. I told the doctor leave him. Fuck him. Pawned him for tuppence halfpenny. But between himself and Jacinta, I'm druv to it. So there I am, right? Lying in a wheelbarrow for some description. In a dark room, ready to be made a negative of. Nothing on me but a class of a torn shift. Not enough in it to dust a fiddle. And then comes this Paki or Madagascar or how's your mother? And next year some invention of a Lazarus beam on me nuts and bolts. And they're coming up on a screen that he can see but I can't. Sorry it's taken so long, says he, after about an hour or two. It's for the good of the outpatient. Eventually I'm let go. You will be informed in the time to come of the course of events, says he, and disappears. Melted into the tiled wall. Place is fucking full of them. Look at the tar bush. Every breed you ever saw. Bound Eskimo. And they probably had them below in the basement. Beside the furnace. Took home the ambulance. Broke down twice in the way. Like you're only a number in the hands of a pack from the other side of the globe. What's left of it? November, 'twas a wet stormy day. I shut the front door into town, made my way. I met with the young man on the road, I did go, and he told me the news of the death of John Joe. He led Cavan to victory on a glorious day in the Bowler Grounds final when Kerry gave way. He grew back the next year when her boys bet me off, once again on a late with a Gallant John Joe. Each corner of breathless sorrow and pain such a brave-hearted force. Grand players may come and grand players may go, but they'll not find the likes of the Gallant John Joe. Thou lumbar, so whore. Thou lumbar. I have this daughter, Jacinta. And she's carrying a child. A chirpawn. Lock of arguments right in the head of that chirpawn. I do keep asking one question. First question anyone would ask. Only she flings it back at me. Why bother asking, says she, when you've already decided you know the answer? The contraption speech. I'll keep asking, says I, till I find out what I have a right to know. You're my daughter. I'm that chirpawn's grandfather. I'm entitled to know who, when and where the father is to be found, if to be found. I have an obligation to know where that chirpawn originated. Is she listening to me? Enough to pick up my word obligation. The chirpawn and myself, says she. We have our obligations too. Well, what might then be, says I? Obligations to take it easy, prepare for an event, Obligations to keep in touch with the father, that seems right and proper. You're in touch with the father then, says I. To be sure I am, says she. Well, how in touch, says I? Oh, all kinds of ways in keeping in touch. Smoke signals, carrier pigeon, notes under the stones, but the best of all is telepathy, where without moving a finger you communicate just by thinking. That's the quickest and the simplest. What kind of a hammerhead do you take me for? Says I. Smoke signals, carrier pigeon, telepathy, fucking Animals does it, she says, all the time. And she's gone for a walk. No. I know that bastard done it. The Chinese what runs the chipper below. God forgive me, wasn't I the one that encouraged her to take the job with him? I know it was him. Didn't I walk her to the chipper the first day she clocked in, and he couldn't wait. I seen it with my own two eyes. He couldn't wait to get her upstairs or backstairs or wherever he defies his trombone. Match the jeans. Bossman is advising. Dear me, they can do that now. Thanks, Lord, no, all says I to myself. Match the jeans, he's still at it. The jeans is matched, says I. Too fucking well matched. Bossman. The brave bossman. Aye. We used to go fishing. The little bit he knows of angling, I learnt him. Very well to do, as they say around here, meaning money coming out of orifices. Claims to have travelled most of the known world. Picked up his trade, coaxing sweet oil from the desert sands near Duran. A non-stop sermonizer. In here last week, first thing he wants to know, you taking your medication, Cuncannon? Well, what about the bashing side effects, says I? Name. Well, the main side effect is they cripple you. How's Jacinta? Out of the chipper, says I. And I thought the chipper would be the makings of her, says he. Instead, says I, it's the makings of something else. Look, it's not her carrying a chirpawn I mind, not but I take a crucifix, though whatever cunt done it. It's not that, it's the... Listen. I might just spend the last years of my days watching, putting up with the child of a daughter of mine, walking this town like the great grandson of some pigtail Confucius should swim into the lake to get out of the way of. I mean, could she not let it be one of her own? Instead of leaving me here standing barways, tongue my mouth dry as a stick, all in the head of a short promise of a squinty face yell at the window. Might as well talking to the chest of drawers. John Joe, says he, you must get out and about, get some fresh air, you must circulate, blood circulates, air circulates, fester, you're finished. Next stop, great empty quarter, and he's gone, in smoke. Blood circulates. Damn near he didn't take me pulse, like he takes Jacinta's every time he gets a chance. In the meantime, I'm getting nowhere. Neither hide nor hair of a father, and any attempt to make to find out, off she floats into the buttermilk blue of the high above. But I wasn't giving in. Back I went to her ladyship again. Was it the Chinese? She's sitting there. Earphones stuck to her lugs. The Sony Talkman, piping music to the wee hero within. Did you hear me question, daughter? Says I was counting sheep. Put that by me again, please. Was it the Chinese? Do you know what she does? Pulls up the blouse, slaps the earphones to the swell of her belly. She'll find out direct from the chirpon if it was the Chinese. Hey, you in there? Says she. Was it the Chinese? And listens. Sorry, I didn't catch that, says she. And explains to me his lordship is only beginning to put words together. And repeats the question. Was it the Chinese? Listens again. And then reports back the big news. Impotent grin on her face. The chirpon's response is as follows. That'll all be known when the waters break and flow under the bridge and down the Swanea. The hero has spoken from our far within, and if I ask him another question, he'll likely give me the countdown races. It's fearsome how she can keep the gob shut when she decides it's government policy. So there I am, left lying in rigmarole. But I knows me next step. Eh? There's this hypnotist operating below in the town. They're going to him in processions, coming away from the place dancing. The no Drud be Jesus. Eh? Fully qualified hypnotherapeutic treatment for maladies of all varieties, including cancer, brain tumours, tiredness, exhaustion, pneumatic upsets, weight addition or weight loss, and larger business success. Miracle Cure Line 041 777 332. Agoraphobics welcome. Anyways, I give it a try, I decide. Might ease the hurt mind a bit. So, I lands in there. White mansion he has, and long-legged young ones washing the shiny corridors, and they 50 quid out of my pocket before they had to cut off me back at the... Plus, I'm being bombarded with music. Out of the walls. And lights. There's lights, like coloured and bright and dark, like you'd never imagine. All introduced by the hypnotist himself. From a laptop gazebo throbbing on his knees. And when he has me nicely light in the head, he advances on me and lowers me onto one of them sofas with no end to one end of it, equipped with a pedal, and his foot's on the pedal that'll shift you up and down and sideways all in one commotion. So there I am, prostrate, bamboozled by this chair playing circus. I haven't the strength on me to pluck a herring off a tongs. And there he is, standing there, just staring at me. Not a word out of him. Christ, says I to myself, if it goes on like this, I'll be a candidate for extreme unction. But no, he's beside me. And a very quiet voice. Mr. Concannon, welcome. The land divine. I don't know what to say, says I. We'll talk when you're ready, Mr. Concannon, says he. And then he finds it convenient to start massaging me skull. Fingers like a concertina. Oh, we must encourage the blood to attend to our needs, Mr. Concannon, he's saying. And we in turn must attend to needs of the restless blood. Meantime, I'm atop of the Red Sea, floating. I have this thought of Jacinta, says I. And I takes out the photo of Jacinta that I bears regular on me person. And I gives it to him. And be Jesus, he's looking at her. The arrival of the promised land. Like she's entering into his corpuscles. Handsome young lady, says he. And I think I seen a lot of what was to come in that particular remark. She's carrying a child, says I. You know who done it? You know the father. You saw it coming, but her powerless intervened, and now you want to shoot him and live happily ever after. Likely wasn't the one you think. Well, who was it then, says I? It seldom is, says he. And he eyeballing me like I'm deaf. Seldom is, says I. But where does that leave me on the issue of paternities? I'd be better off at home, taking my medication. But, says I to myself, before I depart, I'll draw blood. I'll leave me mark on some section of this performer's anatomy. So I sits up. And says I, the land divine. You made that name up, you get you. Correct, Mr. Concannon. I made it up. I had you taped, say. And why a man like you go to the bother of making up his name now? Simply answered Mr. Concannon. But first bear in mind that we all make up our names in some fashion or other. Furthermore, my choice of name, the land divine, and I can vouch for this, brings powerful assurance to the patient in need of assurance, proven sustenance to the troubled, approaching, the unapproachable. And the Frango he comes out with, he didn't stop for 10 minutes. He was like some class of Almore's Almanac or your boy on Nostradamus spewing his prophecies. I just sat there in me spin, glaucomic. He was on me tongue to throw in, oh, sorry, Professor, I don't know the Esperantine. But I let it pass. The next thing, don't I get terrible upset? And I hears myself, what a man be getting out of bed in the morning for? Well, there's a crate in the corner, a chirp on whinging. Turn your back, they're growing children, not they're on top of other goats in the field, and other nodding you, you've got grey hairs. Fat, your scotch grass, poor man's corner of the boneyard. Tell me, Mr. Hypnotist, what's that about? What's that all about? It's about affliction, Mr. Concannon, said he. Your affliction. And then the bastard went for me. Sexually active? Pardon, says I? Are you sexually active? Sure, I have crippled. It's a short tipping season for lots, you know. Age? Well, what age are you? Widower. That's right. How long? The 16 year. Any relationships formed or forming with another female or female since your wife's demise? No, says I. Is that all right? You tell me, Mr. Concannon, says he. I have in mind stress, proximity, and one-parent intimacies. Repeat that, says I. One-parent intimacy, says he. That dusk. Well, I nearly fucking went from. I could feel the ticker going like a thresher. I went for my coat and stayed and started to put it on when sweet Christ sweating on the cross. Don't I take a terrible turn? It's like the floor's on fire, and I'm stamping with my overcoat to quench the blaze, but the blaze keeps coming, and I'm leashed for the burning. And then a firm hand on my shoulder, and a delicate whisper in my ear, and the fit stops. Sit down, Mr. Concannon, says he, and I did. Can I have that picture of Jacinta back, says I. Certainly, Mr. Concannon, says he. Thanks, says I. I was that weak, I couldn't push a cat off a stool. Reason I'm coming to see you, says I, is I get upset about a lot of things. But don't pass no remark on me, the land divine. Now you said, unapproachable. What does that mean? In decent language. That on which you dare not lay your hand. A great pleasure, Mr. Concannon. Melanie will show you out. stormy day. I shut the front door into town, made my way. I met with the young man on the road, and he'd go, and he told me the news. Well, the death of John Joe. Don't you buy? Harold Frosna, grand players maker, but we'll not find the likes of the Gallant John Joe. She's an heirloom. I could get him in for her now in any of them museums just to be found in every Asia these days. A mint. But there's some things you don't let go of. Anyways, what would I be doing with a fortune in me fist? There's no pockets in the habit. That's what I was always told. Hey, no buttons on the shroud. Sleep, oh babe, where the redly hums, the silent twilight's fall. A veil from the grey rock comes to wrap the world in thrall. A lantern for me child, my joy, me love and heart's desire. The crickets sing you a lullaby all around the dying fire. That was Mary's song. She had out of Donegal somewhere. I could never rightly tell what came over that woman of mine. She was a young Miss Ireland. She broke hearts like they were kippings. Kippings you'd thrown in the fire. And then she fell in with John Joe Cavan. I flung a halter on her. The job, but I'd done it. Now we get shackled. And then what happened? She had Rose, Rita, and then Jacinta, all in a rush. And then lay down and gave up. God rest her soul. Do you know, I mind her as much as bread, like there's not a day passes, but I see her looking out the kitchen window. Daughters and mothers. Mothers and daughters. Mostly mystery is how I describe them. Mystery mostly. I mean, meant to be that way so they can slap more spells on us. They're a fearsome bag of spells, the female women. Fearsome. But, coming back to the barbed wire question of paternities and our old friend DNA. Certain steps are taken by me to deal with the hot favourite, Mr. Lee Chang Woo, of which more anon in the soon-to-be grand. So, I lands back in the house with a few bags of chips. And there she is, knitting another Gansey for the wee hero. So I gives her one of the bags. Thought I'd take a ramble down to the chipper, says I. Stare the pot a bit. Hey, I had a few words with your former employer. A Chinese with the chef's hat. And he spots me, and all of a sudden, isn't he woeful busy? Excuse me, says I, and it lugs him out to the backyard. You should have seen the jangy push at him. Turning the colour of Indian meal, gone mildewed, if you call that a colour. Spots Mrs. the Chinese, taking a gander from the window above. Well, I smigged him twice, and then I milled him with the boot. At which time, he's pumped the red stuff, and he leaves him lying on the fish box as a handy dose of quiet in him. I looked up, and herself is waving me inside. She gives me a full cotton chips on the house. The giving hand, oh, she's a doozer. Did she not give you the rounded parlour? Says me daughter. What other preoccupations? I'm belly loaded, I'm thinking to myself, I'm not done with him yet, by. So I had a look. No, not in the yard. Seems he crawls his way from the fish boxes to lick his contusions in the bed above, which is where I interrogate him. And he told me what I knew about inveigling you free of your breeches and taste so honey he couldn't help himself after. But one slippery lechico, on my way out he denies everything. Says he only made it up to smooth me down. Well, I went back and I took him by the trapper. Name, says I. Name the colour, exact colour of Jacinta's hair. I'm referring to the pubic foliage now. Name it, says I. Name it to Clemia. As sure as sauce as a 9-year-head that knows it. Do you know what he does? Starts to stuck and froth. So I fired him there. Watch this space, says I, for further severe castigations as required. Jacinta is just sitting there. Only now she's gone all quiet in me. Heinous quiet. Me body's me own, says she. Body me own? Pubic foliage me own? I'm talking about a person. A daughter, me, standing in front of you, a one you can't see, one you'll never see, because all you can see is your own grip. Well, melt the grip. Or there nothing to grip. I'm out of here, and I'll be wherever I land, and you can have the Bahon here to yourself. Oh, John Joe Cannon licking the walls and the fire out. This is my Jacinta talking now. Her back to me, and voice so low that you have to stretch to hear. I am a person, is the last thing she says. I am a person. And the swish of her out the door. It wasn't me that mentioned pubic foliage. No, that was her term the first time. And them radio phone-ins. Pubic foliage. Oh, the tongues of women. Soft as church music, and then she roars into a tear. Get your paws off of me. But it isn't exactly on her behalf, no one else's, that I confront the kinky-eyed Romeo below. I gives her my account. And I'm in the dock for a numbered inmate in the House of Prayers. But she didn't blame the Chinese on. Innocent malefactor, may his soul turn into a Peking duck and paddle the sinkholes of hell forever. If you want a heart scald on you, have 10 daughters. Because they'll turn on you, the viper tooth, and serve you right. You're just a conscript Armenian, and you're road Armageddon, and the liquid slopes of Golgotha! Right, said I to myself. What's the butt of the row here? Your valuables, me lady, your valuables was me answer to that question. Where your valuables is on offer, there's responsibilities, you know. And where them particular valuables is concerned, I'm not turning me back on what's mine to guard and protect. Because who tanked me? Huh? Johnny me Gory? Fine, dance while you limber. But down the lane, I'm the one blamed for not taking charge of the harm done. Just think to hold this barge and stop. Yeah. I'm talking to myself. I gave up. I went out for a walk down by the lake. Thanking God it's not Christmas. Because the lakes around here about Christmas season, whatever comes over them, is peculiar and inviting. You could put watchtowers around the same lakes and still not hold back them what hears the call. That's a known fact. There was two. Now there's one. On your own. So I fell into a steep decline. I took to the bed mostly. Do you ever hear of an isolated ward? Ever hear of an isolated kitchen? It has 4 walls and a ceiling, and they're looking at you, keeping the closest eye, John Joe come Cavan. The knuckles of a month, I mean, nothing. If I can taste nothing today, nothing will pass these lips. And her ladyship would surface unforecastable influence. A lassie now, unwilling to recognise my mortal existence. My Jacinta. Out of nowhere, I'm like one of them stateless persons marooned in some barber purgatory. Grand. Middle of the second week, her mouth opens. If you're not in the humour of eating a pig, says she, I'm getting the doctor. To which he does. The bally Hippocrates. I told him I was in the swithers and the slides over that paternity question. So he presents me a bottle and says he'll speak with Jacinta. Oh, good luck, says I. And he sleuthers off. Am I left in quiet? Bally Hippocrates passes the word, hammering on the door. I sit tight. Hammering continues, I admit the caller. It's the brave bossman. I closes the door. Now, if I might be permitted to interrupt myself here. A morsel of wisdom and for free. Don't, when you're bleeding like a stuck pig, don't look for friends to staunch the flow. Old friends especially, and the one particular old friend. Hey, keep an eye on that party. Meaning what? Meaning this, the one particular old friend at your shoulder for years has a hidden agenda. That's right, a hidden agenda. Doorbanger bossman. An uninvited guest now standing forninst me. Now he was alright, not the worst for a pile of years, only recently. Jacinta springing into her bosom. Another element comes into play, doesn't he turn into a counsellor? Or welfare officer, glory be to God, with an expanding exponential interest in my daughter's well-being. What are you doing in here, John Joe and Joe? Well, get out! Don't be sitting here cooped up in the room with Jacinta. It's not healthy. Then I knew what he was implicating. Why is it not healthy, says I? Put it right up to his smig. Well, he sidesteps that one. Develops a sudden interest in the infested remains of the handball alley. Last used 1932. the year of Eucharistic Congress. Holiday's what you need, Concannon, I'll pay for it. Oh, and he'll look after Jacinta while I'm gone. Oh yes, I'm sure. Take her pulse at hourly intervals. Or Jacinta should take off. He'll pay for everything. Oh, she needs to stretch her legs. She needs to get a bit of sun on her pelt. I tell you what, says I. Why don't you send Jacinta and me on a holiday? The singing canaries. And you come here as a chaperone and a health advisor of a general nature. Well, he gives me a look. I take that kind of talk amiss, Concannon, says he, and knows skew-ways. Out of joint, he retreats from the field. Fine, says I, fine! But now he knows, I knows, his rabbit inclinings. John O'Reilly had a way, had a method, because by Christ there was method in it, a way of blocking down the ball that had to do with timing. Timing in the swoop. Done, QED, good night, Joe Doyle. Commandant John Joe O'Reilly was the greatest centre half of the modern era. Millennium All-Star and Prince of the Immortals. Grand players may come, grand players may go, but we'll not find the legs of the Gallant John Joe. There was this magazine in the long ago. It was this size magazine. You'd see it in the school. It was called the Far East. And what was that magazine attempting to propagate? The conversion, if you don't mind, of the heathen hordes along the Yangtze River! And every month he'd come, opening up pictures in it, there they are, looking out at you, the faces of the heathen hordes, asking for to be baptized on the banks of the Yangtze River. Glory be to Christ. The Far East, huh? So a few weeks flitters by. 4 walls, 1 ceiling, watching their prisoners ender. Daughter Jacinta drooping resentment. Boy the Hippocrates with his quack ministrations. One day worse than other. But even in an isolated kitchen, you'll always have, thanks be to God, some form of distraction. So I looks up, for wanting of anything better to do. And who's in the doorway? In the kitchen, settling himself comfortable. Only the hypnotist. What in Christ's name are you doing here? Says I. Jacinta invited me, I'm informed, and she comes down from above to confirm these very interesting tidings. Why wouldn't I invite him? Says she. I'm aiming to extend my education. Is he going to hear your confession? Says I. That's laughed off, and the rest of the visit passes harmless enough. Only is it? You see, the shape of the bag is one thing. What comes out of the bag is another. And when they got out of that, it hits me. How did I not see it coming? It's the hypnotist! Nay! First time I shows him the picture of Jacinta. And I have a trouble getting it back off him, if you'll remember. Next, he lands up here in the house on one of his corporate missions of mercy. Yeah, that's number 2. And what are them manoeuvrings the commencement of? Just this. The next day, in walks Bossman with a story that my daughter is now a client of the hypnotist. 3 treatments for worthy cases, if you don't mind, and she's wearing a pack to his door. What's more, according to me informant, there's dozens of pictures of Jacinta, raunchy, Concannon, raunchy, lining a curved corridor of the mansion. Naked, says I? No, lingeries. As far as is known, says Bossman, and he upright with palpitations on the head of his own credentials. And where do you hear that, says I? Oh, the whole town has it, John, says he. We're not speaking a rumour here. Oh, grand, says I. And if they're all as excited as you are with the smell of it, then look for a widespread convulsion before night, and I fired them out. And I sat down. And I reflected. No fool like an old fool. That was well said the first time whoever come out with it. There's no fool like the old fool. Her below mounting him that I'm going to get rid of the stress that she's causing to begin with. And then he and she, the both of them, are now magnifying like there's no tomorrow. It's a riddle you couldn't make up. Not if you had the head of Homer. I must be blind as Sinbad, tied to the mast turning salt. Straight off I thought, I'll go down to Mr. Gallant Divine. I'll invade the premises and I'll beat the bastards into an ointment. But then I thought, no, John, no. That's only putting him in the right. Go to your legal advisor. Take the coxman to court for interfering with a female client of tender years. But then I thought, oh, no. Go down to the mansion. March in, collect evidence. The whole clutch of them scandalous pictures. But then, says I to myself, inspect them pictures, John, and you'll lose the run of yourself. You won't be responsible. And you're only fresh from risking life and limb on the Asiatic front. No. March down to your solicitors. It comes back to that. So, I'm on my way out the door, and in strolls Jacinta. The hypnotist's new friend and old acquaintance. Well, how's Mr. Devine, says I. He'll last till midnight anyways, she said. Not holding back and proffering prevarications. Like, I leave now, Jacinta, says I. Pack your dodge, there's the door. Bossman is calling you demented, she said. Well, I must be blind as Sinbad. Tied to the mast turning salt, says I. I was bulling. And I asked her the second time to leave. There's the door, says I. She's not even listening. She's taking it easy. Strolling the kitchen. Exercising herself. Gentle like you're looking at a doe or a dove. Gentle like. And the belly, feeling the wee hero within. Is she out for skull? Has he got her on drugs below? And now she sits, eyes me, and drops her small bombshell. Hypnotist Pa is a fraud. You knows that, I knows it, so on to other matters of more concern. Well, there's no telling anything until it shows its noggin above the parapet, so the hypnotist is out of the equation. Oh, thanks, sweet Jesus. Thank you. Oh, Sloan Pugh, the land divine. Next, she sidles up, parks herself beside me. I was talking to your man, Curly. Used to work with you in the Creamy beyond in Roscommon. I says, that's not today nor yesterday. And he told me all about the wrong. And what was done to you because you were different. John Joe Concannon had a vision, and they couldn't rise to it, Curly kept saying. Jumps ahead of the time you were. The way he saw it, you were, the light was smothered. It vexed me to the gut listening to him and the abuse he took from that pack. I cried for 2 hours after, says she, and she gives me a hug. You need minding, Pa, and you'll get it. There's no one going nowhere out of this place. Minding each other is our business, and we'll meet that obligation. Jacinta. I just sat there and didn't know what to say or do. And then she gives me another hug and I start crying. And then she makes us up a tea and we start gossiping the way we used to. Before the woes of time tethered me and Husky ground. Oh, mind that time, says she. You had the pointer and retriever. I, says I, Bran and Smokey with the gammy leg. And there she is, running around the place, pretending she's Bran and Smokey. The way she used to when she was knee-high to a grasshopper. And we were laughing and talking about them days and Uncle Shah and Mickey the Pound. Oh, poor Uncle Shah, see. What age would he be now? Oh, top in the 90s, says I walked into a lake in the middle of the night. Wanted to see how deep it was, I suppose. But like old times it was. Old times in the hay saved. Well, I sat back. Oh, if I was a side of me, I'd have poured. and then Jacinta starts up this jingle we used to warble in them days. Oh, it must be years since we gave this a lash pa. So she Sinbad the sailor, says she. And Binbad the baler, says I. And Dinbad the daler, says he. And Finbad the fairer, and Hinbad the hairer, and Jinbad the jailer, and Kinbad the killer, and Minbad the nailer, and Ninbad the nailer. Ah! Listen to me. Oh, God. I was damn near the most contented man in the Ring of Ireland. Damn near. It was damn near. You know, sometimes I imagine them words is written on my birth certificate. John Joe, damn near, Concannon. Name the man dipped his wick. Like, the procreate, was there. In my cranium, stinging away. Never mind. Truth loud. He led Cavan to victory on the glorious day in the Polo Grounds final when Kerry gave way. In Croke Park the next year when our boys bet Mayo, once again they were led by the Gallant Johnjo. Watch it. You defer to that man's young opponents the ball, giving him a deco. Here, look, it's a football. Then jukes back. Shows it again to the unfortunate stooge now, prostate in a mug. And elegant. Elegant, ladies and gentlemen, he delivers to Higgins on the 40. Our tag on the wing. Great players may come. But we'll not find the lights of the Gallant Johnjo. Walls is made with bricks and mortar. But there's more to them than all that. Watch them long enough and they'll turn to wisps. Wisps of an hallucination like you're in residence in the middle of a bog. It was easy or wasn't easy. Who fathered the chip on? It was there, wouldn't go away. It was a brangling non-stop. And more, he was in the nature of a shadow, obscuring the light of day. And didn't I make the jump, says I to myself, is there medicines that'll cure the light? No. I mean, how can pills and potions clarify the shadow between you and the light? So I got up and I pitched the bathroom pills into the fire. Well, if it did, the flame rose. I marked it all right, flame rose, black and amber it was, and it's like the spout of that flame is saying, "Ah, you're not out of the woods yet, mister! You'll be howling for us pills soon enough, never fret! Ah!" I should have took that warning more serious. But does anyone? Does he have to wait for the dunt? And the dunt won't fail you. So it comes down this morning. I fooshes around for a while. 11 o'clock. Near a sign of family life. I tried the bedroom. Empty. She's gone. My daughter is gone. I knew, you see, on the spot. I knew in advance. I asked around the neighbours, the shop, no, seen by nobody. The hypnotist, no, not in them latitudes, which I knew she wouldn't be. And Bossman is no help. He can't help himself, postulating and speculating and speechifying. So I went out to the guards on the second day. Carry me load of reservations for having anything to do with them cabbages in uniform. I mean, appear there and you're accused of some crime. And I'm hardly in the door and the criminal investigation of John Cannon is in full swing. What, mister, do you know of the event? Was your daughter in a disturbed state? How would you describe your own state right now and over a succession of previous years? Silent! That's how I describe it! You get nothing out of me! And daughter still missing, I slammed the barrack door. Even them Mohawks to their own advices. Day or two after, call from the station. Jacinta Concannon is incarcerated in the big house for mental patients. Admitted of her own accord. Anyways, that's the version of events presented to me by the forces of law and order. So I proceed to visit my daughter, now a registered patient in the care and custody of the state. I find it easy to gain admission, suspicious easy. She's sitting in the ward, doctors, nurses, warders, none to be seen. You got prominent absentees. Maybe now, she said to myself. There's more nor Jacinta under observation here. Them institutions is alive with loopholes and false windows and spy slots and recording apparatuses of all varieties. Oh, now you're saying that this man has a prosecution complex, huh? Well, matter of fact, before long, I was proved right. Anyways, Jacinta is sitting there. I'm back, she. And she introduces me to her newfound friend, the Whiteby Knight. Now, the Whiteby Knight is a dog. Huh? So there she is patting the dog. Only bother is, the dog's invisible. She's patting thin air. Oh, Pa, says she, say hello to the Whiteby Knight. See what he makes of you. Oh, he's a boy, I'll tell you, if you're in your health or not. Oh, he's a nose on him like none other ever was. Wherever he gets it, he's not saying, he just smiles, Pa, with his eyes, and there's no faking that. And her stroking the head of a dog. That's not there. Sweet suffering Jesus and his weeping and afflicted mother, but I was a frightened man. I could hardly take it in what was happening, never mind deal with it. I mean, you couldn't credit unless you saw the porn step. But somehow, I kept the grip and says out to myself, reason with her, John Joe, just soothe her. Let things might settle, reason with her. And I did. That's exactly what I done. All right, Jacinta, says I. It's all right. You vanished from sight. Driving us all abstracted, so no one knows how you're alive or dead. You turn up when you fancy, but I don't mind. The thing is, you're here.
that matters. It's all right. Is it, Pa? Shishi? But that's what I'm trying to tell you, daughter. You here safe and sound is the main thing. Are you afeard of me dog, Pa? Jesus, the dog again. He's not a dog to be afraid of, Pa. Maybe stand in awe of, but that's another thing altogether. Well, I went berserk. Jacinta, I listen to single solitary word, I'm telling you! You rip you! I mean, you're so thick into yourself, you're as interested in what I'm saying as the Rock of Muff. Rise up, will you? Get up off your royal Irish arse and take the world by the hasp before it makes bits of you! Are you listening to me? No response. She could be on the moon. On Neptune. Or the approaches to Jupiter. Where's that flea-bitten mongrel with the mane, says I. And I made a rush and I grabbed that invisible dog. And away with me down the tiled corridors. I waits a few minutes and lands back. I hang the fucker! Did you hear him squealing? Not but he was half the bench. I hanged him and still he wouldn't give in. So I took me midst to his strap and Jesus, he's still twitching. Long after end, I kicked the daylight out of him. And the dog's a good one and you needn't worry, he won't be left lying around. I'll turf him into the lake later on tonight and let the misfortunes of eels gluttonise themselves for a week. Well, you wouldn't credit her next leap. What does she do but turn into the dog? And goes for me. Teeth bared, barking and frothing. All right, me lady, says I. Get this into your off. I'll have you sort the punch and beat you. If there's papers beside it, put me near to it and let the pack say what they like. So, somebody has to put down the foot or off the black of the bog hole. The next thing, a swarm of medical staff, as expected, lights on me from the other side of harmless looking hospital screens. And Jacinta Concannon's father is bodily removed from that institution with warnings attached concerning future behaviour. So, Jacinta Concannon's in the big house. I'm banned from visiting. Beyond that, all I'm told is, tuck back your lugs for this now. No child. No chirpon. They checked her out. No bun in the oven. Jesus. After all the crucifixions and 10 gardens of agonies I've been through. I mean, what class of a world are we staggering about in at all? Huh? Phantoms? Is it? Figments? Threads of the mist, spun out by a daughter's imaginings fermented by the fructifying presence of Cunty MacFuck the Chinese? It's my belief that rot commenced the first day she started walking that chipper. Her temper changed, like her behaviours, her nature somehow smirched. And I couldn't ask her direct. Oh, what's going on down there, Jacinta? Tell me, I'm your father, I'll understand, I'll take steps. I held back. A mistake. A bad mistake. But not the blunder beyond making up for. I said it before. You have to listen to the thunder in the blood. Don't listen, it'll deafen you. Meaning what? Meaning this. I took some steps. Concerning? You know the answer. Concerning me, Rickshaw Casanova. Mr. Prime Suspect from under the Great Wall. What steps did I take? Mind your own business. Them what asks no questions is what's them that's told no lies. And let no one say he wasn't warned. Something had to be done. I'll go this far, and by the way, without admission of anything, I'll admit nothing. You see, I learned that much from what passes for education in this country. Where was I? Oh, right, this. I didn't make the lakes round here, God Almighty made them. And they're available for all kinds of purposes. Grand players may come, grand players may go, but we'll not find the likes of the Gallant John Joe. Knock at the door. It's the sergeant we got. Oh, somebody missing. Oh, who is it this time? The Chinese. Happens every day of the week, says I. People go missing. I mean, no one knows what gets into them. They just get up and go missing like going to work. And he's standing there. He's standing there listening to me. Face on him long as a Lurgan spade. Just making some low-profile inquiries, says he. You don't mind if I call back tomorrow? I'm here regular, sergeant, says I. And he departs. The size 10 boots squeaking against his bunions. I'll tell you one thing, and I'll tell you no more. I won't be organising no pilgrimages to Knock for Comrade Lee Chang-woo's repose and peace of mind. Ding, ding. I was clear on one thing only. They might ban me from that premises, but I was going to visit her all the same. I was going to say hello to me daughter. So I heads for the big house. According to Bossman, who has it from Mr. Devine, who has it from some croony, no doubt. She just sits there and talks. Seems like the crowd in charge is making a big play of the dog, the white knight, and a wheen of inquiries on the subject. Where did that dog come from, they want to know. I asked for him and he appeared, says she. I heard it once on the radio, or maybe from a tree. If you have the animals on your side, there's none'll best you. And she spends hours praying, I'm told, that some animal, the like of her dog, will land at John Joe's feet and lend him in some fashion or other the little courage or hope or belief that the lowest of the low need to shove one foot after the other. And the black load swelling out of all magnitude. So, there I am in the environs of the big house, the size of the place. There's leagues till. I didn't get into the building. Didn't manage that. They've sentries everywhere. So I'm drove back with a caution, but it must have been that she knew somehow I was in the vicinity. Because they're marching me off the grounds and don't I spot her at the high window. And she's waving. And I wave back. And I stop. And we have this conversation. I stood me ground. A hoodlum's trying to hustle me out of the place, but I stood me ground. How are you, Jacinta? Says I. Grand, Pa, says he, grand. And what do you be thinking of up there, Jacinta, says I. Thinking of, Pa? Aye, what does be going on in your head, child? Oh, I just be thinking of the one song. She. And what song would that be now, says I? Well, I'll tell you, Pa. You see, I believe a body has just the one song, each particular body. And the trick, if you can learn it, is to sing it, Pa. And then you're floating, and then you're flying, and then you've wings that'll never fail you. And she's gone. I'm outside on the footpath. The gates clang behind me. There's strange things happen every day of the week. The clock in that kitchen, I put out a lot of money for that clock, luminous dial and all. That clock stopped the exact hour. Jacinta went out the door. Her big departure, when she disappeared for good and all. 9:15, a Thursday. Last Thursday week. And I looked at that clock and I said, Christ protect me. And I wondered, should I leave it as it was until the day Jacinta lands back here in the full of her health? No. So I lugs it down to the clocks and watches man below in the town, Joe Armstrong, who opens it up. What happened to this clock, says he. How would I know, says I. Oh, it's beyond repair, says Armstrong. It's like the inside of it's been involved in a traffic accident of odious velocities, resulting in a write-off. And he closed it up. Now it's back on the dresser. Time? 9:15, Thursday week. Jesus, spare me. Meantime, I'm mainly sticking to the house. Hey. That wouldn't satisfy the horse. I know the sulphurous tongues of this town. The sideways looks and backways goes, oh, did you hustle her out, John Joe? Was she drugged to it by a hard father? Either side of the Chinese. I could hear it curdling in their logs. And I was buffeted in my temples with listening to rumours and detractions and allegations and calumniations. I would have given me arms and legs for a bit of peace and quiet. So of course Crossman arrives, fresh from shaving and spewing his questions and streaming his advices. Go easy now, says I, on the bruised and the beck. In our woebegone solitude. I'm merely here to see how is Jacinta. Well, how would I know, says I, I'm only the father of the party in question. But I'll tell you this, bossman, that Jacinta, just like her father, is surrounded by praying mantises. And you're leader of the posse. You want to take her on one of them cruises, didn't you, on you? For the good of her health. Health, me box! For the good of her covertures. I heard you offer, oh, holiday heaven and pour on lingeries. I'm not the orangutan. Let's take me for you know. You're upset, Concannon. You must get out and about and get some fresh air. All right, says I, and be cross-examined. Why'd you sign her in? When will you sign her out? What's the ailment? We want the whole story, the full slate, nothing less. And remember, we're the ones who know if you're keeping anything back. Remember that, mister? You're hysterical, Concannon. No, that's not the road to Mecca. No, says I, it's the old bog road. I'm slaving here on Broadway.
in front, the pack at his heels, and no question under God's heaven of sidestepping the scourging that's destined to be.
Do you ever read the Bible? Do you ever read the story about the famous scapegoat from out of the Bible? Did you? Yeah, could be. They have in the Quran too, Bossman. Grand book. No doubt is in your possession. Yeah, Muhammad wrote that. The story of the famous scapegoat. If a jug falls, breaks, all spilt, it wasn't the wind on it. You need your scapegoat, right? Right. So gather the stones, there's a pack of yous in it now. Gather the stones, now you're threshing, finger your victim, no bother. Always one handy. Sun never rose a day yet, there wasn't waiting to call. Grand, drive your chosen to the crossroads spot with plenty of bawling and shouting out to whip up bile and blister. Aye, and the shouting of yous as you start your stoning. Are you there, Bossman? Are you there, the lotties? Are you comfortable in the cosy of your crossroads crowd? Are you furnished with your stones? Raise your hands now, lift your arms and fire them. Fling them, peg them, throw them till your victim drops, pulp and filters of skin. Then you're free to go home and leave the crossroads as cargo. Home with yous now! On! Shrub your paws! Sleep your fill! Wake tomorrow! And that's the famous story of the scapegoat from out of the Bible. I felt better in myself after that outburst. Be damnable story, huh? The famous scapegoat. Grand players may come. Grand players may come. But we'll not find the likes of the gallant John Joe. Commandant John Joe Riley. An army man through and through. When playing football for the army, he took a belt to the kidneys that went wrong on him. He was removed to the army hospital and from there to the coffin. And the coffin only goes one place. November 1952. I attended the funeral, threw clay on the 6x2. I hear the clatter of it yet. God be with you, John. In each corner of Breffni there's sorrow and pain. Such a great-hearted sportsman we'll ne'er see again. Grand players may come and grand players may go, but we'll not find the likes of the gallant John Joe. Can I tell you something else? In the wind-up, you have to get out. I see, says the blind man, and he couldn't see it all. So went this fella on the street, one of the wrestler Rileys, the big lump, the Hyacinth. Wherever they gave that for Handel. Oh, did they think he was a prescription or what? Anyway, he dribbles up to me below in the market square and says he wheezing, "Tell me something, is John Joe Gallant still in it?" "I believe so, Hyacinth," says I think I seen him outside the post office yesterday. "Oh, for But that matter now. It could be it wasn't John Joe I seen at all. Aye. Like misidentifications is frequent with the waiter years and other pressing commiserations. It could be I was mistaken. Yeah, could be. But I'll tell you, when I did see the party in question, for sure and certain, I seen that man John Joe Kilkenny standing on the footpath in the vicinity of the big house, his eye on a window. His incarcerated daughter Jacinta visible in that high nest with its canopy of blue curtains. And a conversation was progressing between the two. Every word audible and chiming, clear as a morning May, every solitary word. And it was a conversation of a private nature that few enough now, my opinion, might understand. The Chinese came into it, how'd you keep them out of it? The Slopey hypnotist, Bossman the Bountiful, and to be sure, the famous dog, the brave white bee knight, and his abrupt departure from this world, although she would claim he could never be put down. And the Chirpawn, of course. The Phantom of the Opera, God bless him, that never was. And nothing disputatious, just the pair, father and daughter, in fair harmony over chapter and verse, and then like talk between many's the father and many's the daughter, just gabbing. Gabbing about the times it is and the times to come, and the day before the race is out at Tangmalangbaloo.